Hello friends, welcome to C Programming video tutorials series. From this video tutorial onwards, for the next few video tutorials, I would like to discuss structures in C. What is a structure? Structure is a collection of logically related different type of data elements. That is, structure is a collection of logically related heterogeneous data elements. We know that homogeneous means similar type of, whereas heterogeneous means different type of. Structure is a collection of logically related different type of data elements, guys. Structures allow us to group logically related different type of data elements under a single name, guys. While solving any real world problem using C programming language, we may need to represent different real world entities inside a C program. To represent any real world entity inside a C program, we take help of structures, guys. For example, while developing a college management system application using C programming language, we may need to represent different entities like student, faculty, subject, etc., etc., etc. inside a C program. To represent student, faculty, subject, etc. inside a C program, we take help of structures, guys. While developing a mathematical application to solve geometrical problems using C programming language, we may need to represent different entities like point, rectangle, circle, etc., etc., etc. To represent point, rectangle, circle, etc., etc., etc. inside a C program, we take help of structures, guys. Note, structures are also used to create complex data structures like linked list, stacks, queues, graphs, trees, etc., etc., etc. Any real world entity, if we need to represent inside a C program, we take help of structures, guys. I hope you guys have clearly understood what is a structure and when do we use structures. Let's proceed further and get more information. Let's understand how do we define a structure. Defining a structure means creating a template or blueprint for any real world entity. Defining a structure means creating a template or blueprint for any real world object, guys. The syntax for defining a structure is we write struct keyword space structure name. In pair of flower brackets, we write list of variable declarations. We write data type space variable name 1 semicolon. We write data type space variable name 2 semicolon and so on. We write data type space variable name n semicolon. You can see that the definition of the structure is terminated by semicolon symbol. Variables declared inside a structure are called as fields or properties of a structure, guys. To represent students inside a C program, we must define a student structure, guys. This is how we define a student structure. We write struct keyword space, then we write the structure name student, opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket. Inside pair of flower brackets, we list properties related to any student, guys. Student is going to have roll number, name, marks, age, gender, date of birth, phone number, email ID, etc., etc., etc. All those properties we list inside pair of flower brackets, guys. You can see that student structure is terminated by semicolon symbol. Let me go to code block and define this student structure, guys. I minimize the word. I double click on code blocks icon to launch the code blocks IDE. You can see that code blocks IDE is launched. I am going to create one new project. I say file, new project. I select here projects, say console application, say go. Then I say next. I select C language, I say next. Then I give the project name intro to structures demo. I say next, say finish. You can see that intro to structures demo project is created. I click on the plus sign, I double click on main.c to open. You can see that main.c file is open. I am going to delete this line of code which is not necessary. I delete this line of code which is not necessary. Now I define the student structure, guys. I say struct. We write the struct keyword space. Then we write the structure name. I say student. Opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket. Here I am going to list properties related to student, guys. I say int roll number semicolon, char star name semicolon, float marks semicolon. You can add more properties if it is required. For example, we can add int, age, semicolon, right? I delete this. That's how we define a structure, guys. Once we define a structure, we can create n number of structure variables or n number of structure instances, guys. Structure instances represent real entities, guys. Let's understand how do we declare a structure variable. There are two different ways in which we can declare a structure variable or instance of a structure. The first way is declaring a structure variable while defining a structure itself. The second way is declaring a structure variable after defining a structure, guys. The syntax for declaring a structure variable while defining a structure itself is, after the closing flower bracket before the semicolon, we write list of structure variable names separated by comma, guys. You can see that while defining the student structure after the closing flower bracket before the semicolon, I am declaring two structure variables, student1 and student2. They are separated by comma, you can see that. This is the first way of declaring a structure variables, guys. The second way is declaring a structure variable after defining a structure. I prefer following the second way. The syntax for declaring a structure variable after defining a structure is, we write struct keyword space structure name space structure variable name semicolon. For example, to declare student1 and student2, we write struct space student1 semicolon. We write struct space student2 semicolon. Let me go to code block. I say here struct space student, that is the structure name, then I say student1 semicolon. Here roll number is of type integer, marks is of type float, student1 is of type student structure, guys. That's how you read it. Student1 is of type student structure. That's how you declare a structure variable, guys. Once you define a structure, you can create n number of structure variables. What happens when this line of code is executed? Computer goes to its memory. It allocates a memory block containing 3 memory locations, guys. 1, 2 and 3. First memory location is dedicated to roll number. Second memory location is dedicated to name. Third memory location is dedicated to marks. We know that each memory location is going to have some address. Let's assume first memory location has the address #20. Next memory location is going to have the address #24. Next memory location is going to have the address #28. We know that integers allocate 4 bytes of memory location as well as floats allocate 4 bytes of memory location. So 20 plus 4 24, 24 plus 4 28. Inside each memory location we will be having garbage integer value. We know that by default variables are going to have garbage integer value, right? That is our student1 structure variable, guys. That's what happens when this line of code is executed. I am going to create one more structure variable. I say here struct space structure name student space structure variable name student2 semicolon. What happens when this line of code is executed? Computer goes to its memory. It allocates a memory block containing 3 memory locations, 1, 2 and 3, guys. First memory location is dedicated to roll number. Next memory location is dedicated to name. Next memory location is dedicated to marks. Inside each memory location we will be having some garbage integer value. Let's assume first memory location has the address #32. Next memory location is going to have the address #36. Next memory location is going to have the address #40. That is our student2 structure variable, guys. That's what happens when this line of code is executed. As I told that having the garbage value inside a variable or a constant or anything is considered as a bad practice. The good practice is, while declaring a variable or a constant, you must initialize them, guys. Initializing a variable or a constant or anything at the time of declaration is considered as one of the good practice. Let's understand how do we declare and initialize a structure variable. We understood how do we declare a structure variable, right? We understood how do we declare a structure variable and what happens inside the memory. Now we need to understand how do we declare and initialize a structure variable, guys. Again, there are two different ways in which we can declare and initialize a structure variable. The first way is declaring and initializing a structure variable while defining a structure itself. The syntax for declaring and initializing a structure variable while defining a structure itself is, after the closing flower bracket, before the semicolon, what we do? We write structure variable name 1 equal to, in pair of flower brackets, we write set of values separated by comma. Then we say comma. We write structure variable name 2 equal to, in pair of flower brackets, we write set of values separated by comma. Then we say comma, and so on. We write structure variable name n equal to, in pair of flower brackets, we write set of values separated by comma. Then we say semicolon, guys. You can see that while defining the student structure itself, I am declaring as well as initializing structure variables. Student 1 equal to, in pair of flower brackets, I am writing list of values separated by comma which are related to student 1. Student 2 equal to, in pair of flower brackets, I have listed set of values separated by comma which are related to student 2. I prefer following the second way, guys. The syntax for declaring and initializing a structure variable after defining a structure is, we write struct space structure name space structure variable name equal to, in pair of flower brackets, we write set of values separated by comma. Then we say semicolon, guys. For example, this is how we declare and initialize student 1. This is how we declare and initialize student 2, guys. Let me go to code block. I say here student 1 equal to, in pair of flower brackets, I say 1 comma, in double quotations I say Suresh comma, I say 76.5. That's how we declare and initialize student 1. I say equal to, in pair of flower brackets, I say here 2 comma, I say Ramesh comma 86.5. Now what happens, we need to understand. When this line of code is executed, of course computer goes to its memory, it allocates a memory block containing 3 memory locations. First memory location is dedicated for roll number, next memory location is dedicated for name, next memory location is dedicated for marks. Instead of having garbage value, this time what happens, roll number is assigned with the given value 1, guys, and marks is going to be 76.5. That's what we have given. You can see that here name is of type pointer. We know that pointers hold address of another memory location. They don't hold the actual value, guys. So what computer does, it allocates one more memory location. In that memory location, it puts the value Suresh. Let's assume its address is #44. Inside student 1 name memory location, it puts the address #44, guys, and name starts pointing to that memory location, guys. That's what happens when this line of code is executed. What happens when this line of code is executed? Of course, computer goes to its memory, it allocates a memory block containing 3 memory locations. First memory location is dedicated for roll number, next memory location is dedicated for name, next memory location is dedicated for marks. Instead of having the garbage value, student 2 roll number is assigned with the value 2. Student 2 marks is assigned with the value 86.5. As name is a pointer variable, it holds address of another memory location, right? What computer does, it allocates one more memory location. Inside that, it puts the value Ramesh string, guys. Let's assume its address is #48. Inside student 2 name memory location, it puts the address #48, guys, and it starts pointing to that memory location. That's what happens when this line of code is executed. I hope you guys have clearly understood what happens when you declare and initialize a structure variable inside the memory. Now we can access values inside each memory location of the structure variables, guys. Let's understand how do we get members of a structure variable. To access members of a structure variable, we take help of dot operator. Dot operator is considered as member access operator, guys. The syntax for getting member of a structure variable is, we write structure variable name dot, we write the member name, guys. For example, printf %f student1 dot marks displays 76.5. I am writing here structure variable name student1, right? Then I am writing dot, which is member access operator. Then I am saying marks, and student1 marks is 76.5, right? Let me go to code block. What I do here, I say printf, in double quotations I say %d /n. Before %d I say student1 roll number equal to %d /n, comma, I write structure variable name student1 dot, then I say roll number, semicolon. What happens? Of course, this printf displays student1 roll number equal to %d is replaced by student1 dot roll number. Computer goes to the memory block which has the name student1 and it searches for roll number memory location. The value inside it is 1, so it displays here 1, guys. Understanding? I'm going to copy this line of code and paste down. Here I say student1 name equal to, I say %s because it is of type string. So student1 dot name. What happens here? Computer goes to the memory block with the name student1, looks for the name memory location, and it displays the value at name memory location is pointing, that is Suresh. It displays here SURESH. I am going to copy this line of code and paste down. Here I say student1 marks. It is of type float, so I say here %f. Then I say student1 dot marks, guys. What computer does? It goes to its memory, looks for student1 memory block, and it looks for marks memory location. It has the value 76.5. It displays here 76.5. If I say build and run, you see it displays student1 roll number is 1, student1 name is Suresh, student1 marks is 76.5. It is displaying some extra zeros. We can discard them. I close it. Here I say 0.1. We are telling after the decimal point you should display only 1 digit. You can see after the decimal point we have only 1 digit, right? If I say build and run, this time it displays student1 marks is 76.5. I close it. I say here printf, in double quotations I say /n semicolon. I am adding one blank line. I am going to copy these lines of codes and paste down. Here I say student2 roll number, student2 name, student2 marks. Here I say student2 dot roll number, student2 dot name, student2 dot marks. What it does? It displays here 2. It displays here Ramesh. It displays here 86.5. If I say build and run, you can see that it has displayed student2 roll number is 2, student2 name equal to Ramesh, student2 marks equal to 86.5. That is how we access members of a structure variable, guys. Let's understand how do we set members of a structure variable. The syntax is simple. We write structure variable name dot member name. We use equal to and then we say value semicolon. Let me go to code block. What I do here, I say student1 dot marks must be equal to 86.5 and student2 dot marks should be equal to 76.5. 76.5. What happens when this line of code is executed? Of course, computer goes to the memory block with the name student1. It looks for the marks memory location. It erases the current value, assigns the given value 86.5, guys. That's what happens when this line of code is executed. What happens when this line of code is executed? Computer goes to the memory block with the name student2. It looks for the memory location marks, erases the current value, assigns the new value 76.5. You can see that we have swapped values. I go back to code block. We can display members of student1 and student2 once again. I'm going to copy these lines of codes, Control C. I hit enter and paste. This time Student 1 roll number will be 1. Student 1 name will be Suresh. Student 1 marks will be 86.5. Student 2 roll number will be 2. Student 2 name will be Ramesh. Student 2 marks will be 76.5. If I say build and run, you see that student 1 marks is 86.5. Student 2 marks is 76.5. I hope you guys have clearly understood how do we define a structure, how do we declare and initialize a structure variable, and what happens inside the memory, how do we access members of a structure variable, how do we set values to members of a structure variable. I think for this video tutorial, this much is enough, friends. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again, understand everything clearly. Try this code yourself, experiment with more examples, try to create some other structures, try to create variables for them, try to access members of these structures, etc, etc, etc. In the upcoming video tutorials, we are going to discuss more about structures in C programming language. For more benefits and be up to date, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment and share these videos with others so that everyone will get benefited. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.